New York, San Francisco, and LA are housing the homeless in hotels, but are they destroying the hotel industry? I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. All right, so I have an interesting topic for you today, and it's going over the homelessness issue and how these very far left-leaning progressive cities are housing the homeless in hotels. Now, the people who operate these hotels, a lot of them are doing this willingly, right? They're saying, hey, we get this guaranteed money from the government, etc., right? But, there's proposals out there right now, and I covered one of them in Los Angeles where they say, hey, we're going to force hotels to give their free rooms up to the homeless. And, that kind of thing, it's going to destroy the hotel industry, in my opinion. And the author of this article, they think the same thing. It's like, hey, you're making it so that the hotel industry looks very bad because they've got a whole bunch of, homeless people in there. They got illegal aliens that are being housed in the hotels. And they've got a whole bunch of drug addicts being housed in hotels. And the normal people, tourists and other business travelers, etc., do not want to be in a hotel with that kind of people in it, okay? Because it's very not the kind of thing you want to be around. There's negative stigma, there's the crime issue, there's just too much problems caused by it, and this could very badly hurt the hotels in these cities. So I don't think that the political leaders really care about these hotels because they see it just like they do the way they see landlords, right? Oh, well, they're big and rich, and they need to be paying their fair share, not realizing that, hey, we already are paying our fair share. Okay, now obviously hotels and being a landlord are a little bit different, but I'm interested in hotels because one day I want to own one. Okay, I'm just being honest here, right? And it has a lot of similarities to investing in real estate. So, I hate to see the hotel industry suffering in the same way. We get picked on and thrown under the bus by politicians just trying to get votes, and that just blows my mind that anybody would want to drive businesses and people who are making an investment in their cities out. Anyway, let's get into this article. It's coming from Forbes, and it says, are cities like LA, New York, and San Francisco destroying the hotel industry by using hotels as homeless housing? All right, let's get into it. What does the idiom, kill the goose that lays the golden egg, mean? To destroy something that makes a lot of money for you is the Cambridge Dictionary's second, can't pronounce that word, definition. Hotels are an integral part of the city's economy. They house tourists and business visitors to a city and provide valuable tax revenue to the local coffers. They provide a venue for special events like weddings and business functions like meetings and conventions. Hotels also provide jobs, including many entry-level positions. Many hotels barely survived COVID, but rather than promote the recovering hotel sectors, many U.S. cities like New York, Portland, San Francisco, and Los Angeles are not exactly promoting their hotels to potential visitors. Instead, cities are using hotels to house migrants, homeless people, and drug addicts. Meanwhile, surging street crime is threatening tourism in travel meccas like San Francisco. So we've got cities that are overrun with crime. They basically made these cities inhospitable to tourists. Okay, there's a lot of places where a lot of tourists are just saying, no, I'm not going there. It's just too dangerous, too dirty, too nasty. I've heard many people say about San Francisco. You go into San Francisco and you got homeless people everywhere. You got open drug use on the street corners. I mean, it's ridiculous. Fecal matter laying around. I mean, nobody wants to go and visit that. Yes, it's a beautiful city, right? And I'm sure that, that isn't a problem throughout the entire city. But if it is a problem in the part where the tourists are going, then a lot of people aren't going to want to go there. That's just the truth, okay? And if people aren't going there, that means the hotel industry is suffering. On top of that, they're shoving all these drug addicts and homeless people and illegal aliens into the hotels. So why would I want to stay in those hotels? I wouldn't, okay? And I'm not saying that these are bad places, okay? I think that the truth is that, hey, normal people don't want to deal with these sort of issues when they're on vacation or on business travel, okay? Anyway, let's keep going here. In Los Angeles, an initiative was presented to the city council in July that called for the city's hotels to report their vacancies to the city's housing authority each day. Then, under the Los Angeles Responsible Hotel Ordinance, homeless people could receive a voucher that would pay the hotel a fair market rate for the room. The unhoused individual could then move into the hotel for the night, next to paying guests without screening. Yeah, so the biggest issue I have with all of that is that you're shoving these homeless people right next to the paying people. Okay, it's not like what they're doing in New York, where they're literally, the city is renting out the entire hotel and then putting just the whole thing being full of just homeless people, which that isn't a good issue either. I mean, that at least that works out better for the hotel owner. It doesn't work out so great for the neighborhoods that suddenly have just huge groups of homeless people sitting there. But you know what I'm saying, okay? The hotel owner is still benefiting in that situation. In the LA situation, the hotel owner would probably find that, hey, they've got a lot more empty rooms because nobody wants to be housed, next to all these homeless people. Instead, people are staying in the surrounding areas. Los Angeles County not only has the city of LA in it, but it's a county of like 10 million people, right? So the majority of the people in the county live outside of the city limits. So if the city of LA passed this ridiculous law, then people are just going to stay outside of LA. There's no reason for them to stay there and waste their money so that they can be surrounded by homeless people when they're trying to enjoy their vacations or their business travel. And that's unfortunate. As the ordinance reads, new and already existing hotels will be required to adhere to responsible business practices, including making guest rooms available to unhoused Angelenos on a non-discriminatory basis, and be subject to city oversight. The petition was circulated by the local hotel workers union and garnered 126,000 signatures. Their stated concern was that new hotels do not contribute to the city's lack of affordable housing, burden the city's social services, or result in undue transportation and traffic impacts. I don't quite understand what they're saying here. They say that their stated concern was that new hotels do not contribute to the city's lack of affordable housing. What? No, it's a hotel. People don't live in hotels, okay? They're for temporary visitors who are coming for a few days at a time. People don't live in hotels. So no, it's not going to help with, affordable housing. And it says the new hotels burden the city's social services? How? By providing jobs to people? The only thing that's going to burden social services is a whole bunch of people asking for free handouts, like what California and LA and specifically are doing. They're giving away all these handouts and result in their arguments are stupid. I don't even know why I'm reading through them, but you can tell that this is just a ridiculous argument trying to, pass the buck onto the people who, create jobs, who invest in the city, and trying to say, hey, you need to be paying for this homeless problem. And like, well, listen, we already pay outrageously high taxes here in the state of California. What are you doing with all that money? Okay, what are you doing with it? You're not providing us with the services we need. You're not taking care of this homeless issue. And now you're going to dump it on us. Okay, it's ridiculous. Okay, so yeah, I feel bad for the hotel owners out there in California. Not too bad, though, because you know what? You know what you're getting into when you're investing out there, okay? You know that you're going to have to jump through some crazy hoops and go along with this nonsense. The laws are changing constantly. They pass hundreds or thousands of laws every single year. Nobody can keep up with it. Nobody. And they don't realize the problem with this until they realize that, hey, our businesses are leaving. They're fleeing the state because they can't make money here. Well, Yeah, it's bound to continue to happen.